Welcome back to Tam. Today I'm going to talk you through all the different elements to make an Asian-inspired meatball salad. I know it sounds wacky. I've been making an Asian-inspired chicken salad for years, but then I came across a recipe for Vietnamese meatball salad. I was like, wait, I could swap out the chicken and use meatballs and just bring something new to the table. We're eating a lot of our meals currently al fresco because of COVID restrictions. So chilled cookle doesn't seem to fit so well in our outdoor dining space, but salads and main dish salads work brilliantly. So let me show you everything we're gonna be making. We're gonna be making the meatballs for our Asian-inspired meatball salad. We're going to be discussing how to cut the vegetables in such a way that we can store them in the fridge overnight without a problem. I'm gonna show you how to make this awesome peanut butter Asian dressing. Once you have this recipe, you're gonna wanna use it, like just eat it straight with a spoon. It's that good. And of course, some roasted peanuts to go on top of our freshly made salad when we put it together on Shabbat. Oh my goodness, and there's lots of banging overhead. So it's a jam-packed, delicious recipe. Let's make our Asian-inspired meatball, not chicken salad right now. Let's start by making the meatballs. In my bowl, I've got half a kilo, which is just over a pound of ground beef. I've got 35 grams, about a couple of tablespoons of matza meal, ketchup, there's some mustard in there, and an egg, salt and pepper, and I'm just gonna do a mix. But what I wanna show you is not how to mix ground beef into meatballs, but rather a quick tip for shaping meatballs. I love meatballs, my kids love meatballs. Dishes with meatballs usually go well. We'll see if I can convince them that Vietnamese meatball salad is a good thing. But we shape a lot of meatballs around here. And I just wanted to share with you a quick tip on a way to shape them a little bit faster. Though, that said, sometimes I like to get into a zone and just like shape every single meatball perfectly. Anyhow, my mix is done and it's holding together just right. I have a cutting board here. We're in the reds for my meaty. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flatten out my mixture to the size height that I expect my meatballs to be. I'm going for quite a small meatball, as you can see. And you can use the side of your hand to kind of portion it, or you could grab a knife and do it that way. I'm gonna go grab a knife. Red knife, red board, red bowl. I love all the reds. Anyhow, so I'm going to actually cut the meatballs into little squares. It's just my meat mixture. And let's turn the board and do it the other way. And then I'll show you what our little meatball grid looks like. Hold on, we're almost done. And there is my meatball grid. And you see that? How cool is that? All right. And then I'm gonna grab little portions of this grid and shape them into little balls. And that way, I go about this process just that bit faster. If you're really don't care about the meatballs being round, you could just do square ones, and there you go. But it's a bit ragged. So just a few seconds of shaping, and I'm gonna keep on doing that until all my meatball grid turns into meatballs, and we're gonna keep on going. Meatballs are shaped, check them out. It worked super fast, and now I have a pan heating with vegetable oil, and I'm actually going to fry the meatballs. It's not sizzling yet. I chose the wrong spot. Ah, there we go. Me and the electric stove. We're still trying to come to terms with each other. So I'm gonna keep on adding the meatballs. I'm gonna fry them in batches. Big hint, like with any other food that you're sauteing, frying, and you want to get a good brown on them, searing, do not overcrowd. The minute you overcrowd, actually, it starts steaming and you get that really horrible gray color instead of beautifully browned. So definitely not overcrowding. I think that is the last one I'm adding. And I'm gonna do this in batches. Make sure everything gets beautifully browned and cooked through. This is the only cooking process the meatballs are going through. I often fry my meatballs for almost every dish I use them for, but usually there's another cooking process that's gonna happen, so I don't worry about cooking them through until the end. In this case, this is the only cooking process, so they need to cook all the way through. So make sure to add that into like your timings. Meatballs are ready, check them out. Glasses are on because we're gonna be doing some precision cutting and I wanna see what I'm doing, very important. Most of these types of like Asian salads call for julienne vegetables, which is vegetables that are cut into matchsticks, which is a beautiful thing to do, but incredibly time consuming. So they have these like peelers that julienne, but even they, I find, are a bit finicky and time consuming. So what I do instead is I cut into these shapes. They're thin, but not matchstick. And the way I do that is as follows. Carrot, I slice it down the middle, and then I cut with my knife at an angle. So knife is held at a, if that is 100, I guess a 45-degree angle. And then you start sawing into it. So you don't raise the bottom of the knife from the board, and you kind of seesaw into the cutting motion. And that way you get these very thin half moons of carrot, which though not matchstick, give you the same kind of sensation when you bite into them. And seeing as one of the things I try to do is prepare these vegetables before Shabbat, I find it really helpful to have some strategies that cut back on time and yet prepare the vegetables. So I'm gonna finish cutting my carrots and then I'll show you what I do with the cucumber. All right, on to the cucumber. So I've sliced the cucumber in half, and this really pertains to British cucumbers. This is the average cucumber we get around here, and they have a ton of seeds inside. Those seeds don't have much taste, but they do have a lot of water. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scoop out the seeds using a teaspoon, and then I'm gonna use the same principle as what I did with the carrot and cut it at a 45-degree angle into very thin pieces. That way the cutting goes faster. I'm getting some of the julienne sensation without quite as much work. So I've scooped out the insides. I'm gonna get rid of the seeds and then I'm gonna slice. So seeds are all gone from the cucumber, and once more, I'm going to put the cucumber parallel to myself on the horizon and then have my knife at a 45-degree angle. It's actually the opposite of 45, 270, is that what it, I don't know, I can't do math, but you get what I'm saying. And we're going to slice on the diagonal, trying to keep the slices super thin. And there we go, sliced cucumber. And by eliminating those seeds in the center, the cucumber will stay crisp and not get soggy while we leave it in the fridge overnight to put together our salad on Shabbat. Let me show you where we're at. We've got all our meatballs ready. I'm gonna cover these and put them in the fridge for tomorrow. We've got our vegetables ready. So we've got our carrots cut on the diagonal, the cucumbers, I've added to that some shredded romaine lettuce, some scallions, green onions, and some picked coriander leaves. So all our vegetables are ready, and I've got half a cup of peanuts, which were salted, roasted, and I just chopped them up roughly. The last thing to do is make our dressing. So in a measuring cup, I'm putting in half a cup of freshly squeezed lime juice, half a cup of vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons of water, and loads of awesome ingredients. What I have here is 3 tablespoons of smooth peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I've got 2 teaspoons of freshly grated ginger and 3 small cloves of garlic, which I've crushed, and I'm gonna go in there with my handheld blender, immersion blender, zhuzher, as it's called around here, and make our dressing. Yes, the dressing is out of this world. I cannot even explain how delicious it is. So that's it. We've got our dressing made, and I'm gonna put that into a container also, and all the elements for my Shabbat salad are done. Meatballs, veg, peanuts, and our dressing. The only thing missing is to taste this dressing and adjust the salt, which I'm gonna do before I serve it. I just want it to like settle in the fridge overnight, and then I'll be able to adjust the seasoning just right. I am so excited about the salad. I cannot even explain. I cannot wait for Shabbat. It cannot come too soon. Yes. Oh my goodness. Asian-inspired meatball salad coming your way. Wishing everyone a wonderful Shabbat. The exciting part is the banging that's going on overhead will halt for Shabbat, and I can stop shouting. Shabbat shalom to everyone. See you all soon. Have a restful, beautiful Shabbat wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whomever you're with. See you all soon.